Hey guys, today for my advanced public speaking class, I want to talk to you all about what being a good friend and making a good friend looks like. Based on a lot of communication studies, the highest traits in a friend that are people desire are loyalty, um, and that's the biggest trait. And so, um, I want to talk about kind of what it means to be a good friend opposed to just being kind of a friend. And a lot of that bases out of, I think, um, we often pursue things that people in life that kind of just go with what we like and kind of go with whatever we say and aren't very, you know, sometimes they don't have that much of an impact on our lives when they're just kind of there and they're just kind of your friend, but they um, support everything you do. And so what I want to talk to you is about a biblical way of understanding what friendship should look like. And the main passage of that is in Job. And so in this presentation, I've researched a peer-reviewed article on an intensive study on the book of Job. And a lot of the study on Job is about the morals of why God would allow Job to suffer if he is considered to be one of the most righteous men on earth. And what they don't study is about all his friends who are wicked, and tell him why he's suffering. And all of those things are, all the things they tell him are false, right? And so Job is suffering and he's a very righteous man and these things happen to him. And his friends are like, well, you must have done something to offend God. You must have done something to make him upset, or you must just not be doing enough. And the Bible in Job kind of immediately is like, well, his friends are wrong. But Job's the one who suffers. And so what they look at is, what does it look like to be a biblical friend? And there are lots of examples of this in the Bible. It looks a lot different, I think, because a lot of what's recorded is mentor relationships in the Bible. And so there are different takeaways. But kind of my biggest takeaway that I've noticed that I think applies really well to our day and age is friends are people who have insight into your life and have input into your life. And I think we like to have friends that don't have input in our lives, that kind of just, you say, hey, this is what I'm doing with my life, and everyone kind of respects your boundaries and says, I'm not going to input, I'm just going to support. Because we want supportiveness, right? That's the number two quality in a friend, according to several communication studies. It's loyalty and then supportiveness. And of course we want supportive friends, but what does it look like to have friends who care and like know you well and know what's best for you? And I think the Bible points that out really well. Is you don't want a friend that's uncontroversial to you, not controversial in a bad way, but controversial in the fact that they'll stand up for what they think's best for you. And that doesn't mean they're always right about everything, but I think it's really important in life to have friends who back you up, but also friends who on one-on-one situations tell you this is what's good for you and this is what's bad for you. And so I just don't think we have that very much right now in our culture. It's definitely a time where we want to be as inclusive as possible, and I think a lot of ways that's really good. But as far as friendship goes, I think we need people close to our lives that are willing to help us grow and help us become better people, and not just kind of support you in the good, but support you in the bad, and call you out when you're wrong. And so a probably overused Bible verse is in Proverbs. There's a proverb about iron sharpens iron, as a brother or sister sharpens a brother or sister. And so what I think that means for friendship is that we are called, if you're a Christian, you are called to a higher standard of that, of I am to sharpen those I'm friends with. I am to help someone become stronger and sharper in their life and in their walk with Christ. And I think that brings a much deeper element to friendship. And so when I talk about good friends, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Isn't just a friend who's kind of there for you, but a friend that's willing to sharpen you. And that's a hard, controversial thing that we don't really want to hear. But I think it's a really good argument. And so this could seem like an informative speech, but my challenge is to find friends that actually sharpen you and that don't just make you feel good, you know. And then my second thing would be to be that friend to other people. What does it look like for you to sharpen others? What does it look like to you to be a friend that is genuinely bringing life to those you know and love, and not just supporting them and patting them on the back in their accomplishments, but being willing to acknowledge when they've done something wrong or they're going down a path they shouldn't be going down. Those are really important qualities in a friend that I think are often undermined. And I think that is loyalty. When we really think about the word, it's like loyal is to stay with somebody despite oppression or despite challenges. And so it's challenging when those we love make bad decisions. And instead of just supporting them in that, why don't we challenge them to be better and call them to a higher standard? And so I think that's what being a good friend is. That's what finding good friends are. There's no textbook way to find good friends or to be a good friend, but I think the Bible points out a lot of really good resources, and this is how people have done it for a long time that are really good at being friends and stuck together through incredible amounts of oppression and persecution. And so how can we today look at that and say, how can I apply that to my life? And so my challenge to you is be a good friend to those you love. That's the first step. Sharpen others and have tough conversations. And the second step is find people in your life that will do that for you. Not know-it-alls, of course, but people that genuinely love you and care about you, and that people that aren't your parents that are willing to rebuke you and say, this isn't you. And so I think that's a really good thing for us to ponder and for us to implement in our lives. So I challenge you all to do that. Thank you.